you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day.
Absolutely magical day. Guys, listen, today's video, what we want to talk about is crystals that we believe that you can use to help assist in clearing any mental blockage, any mental turmoil that's going on in your life. And as I say, tell you that, we've always said, crystals on their own is not going to cure anything. Do you know what I mean? No one thing is going to cure nothing. But as part of the bigger picture, the holistic approach of things, we believe that the crystals that we're going to be recommending to you today will be something you should maybe try to explore and to see how they resonate with you. Do they work with you? And as I say, tell you, guaranteed one thing, they'll certainly do you no harm. But what we want you to be is intuitive. Give this a try just to see if it sits well with you. But always remember, you're an intuitive being. If something fits well with you, use it. If it doesn't, try to pick your own crystal. But this is part of the holistic approach,
Absolutely, the whole holistic approach. And before we go on and tell you about what crystals we're going to be recommending here for healing emotional scars, it is the holistic approach. It's taking into everything, and that includes lifestyle, your diet, relaxation techniques, and meditation, and the whole shebang, as we say.
Definitely. And I say, just following it through on different things. So it's irrelevant if you're on medication or you're not, or how severe your issues are. What we're wanting to show you here is the crystals that we have found from our own experiences being touched by. I certainly was touched by depression for about 3 years, nearly 4 years, and I got out the other side and I became a better person as a result of it. And I honestly believe crystals is paramount. It's one of the key players in my package that I would actually use to keep myself focused, keep myself happy, keep myself grounded. And Lynn's introduced me to them, and you might go in and introduce them.
Absolutely. Crystals have helped me in my life all through my years. They have been an absolute fantastic tool for me. And what we're going to talk about in this video is that crystals we'd recommend for healing emotional scars. Well, as Sean has just said, we've been touched by ourselves. I've also been through depression and many social phobia and chronic shyness through my life and everything like that, and I found crystals to be an absolute godsend for healing any emotional issues I've had, as well as nutrition and diet and meditation. And with these crystals here, what we're going to say to you is, now for healing emotional scars, the crystals we recommend, it might be a bit strange for you, but
may not be what you're going to expect.
No, it's not some fancy, amazing, perfect crystal. It's actually looking for the crystals that aren't perfect. And that is actually looking for the ones that have little chips in and a little bit knocked about, like wounded healers like ourselves. Now what I found is, when I've been wanting to heal myself and I've been down and I've wanted to heal a lot of my past things that I've been through in the past, is that if I find crystals that have all been knocked about and chipped and all damaged, I find they're fantastic because you can nurse the crystals. I almost put it as if I'm healing the crystal, and in turn it heals me. And in fact, you're actually healing the crystal because the crystal has been through turmoil as well, and in return it will heal you. It's like a two-way process, isn't it?
When you meet somebody who's been through issues and you're feeling quite down on yourself, and you're meeting somebody who can't, and none of us can grasp anybody else's path, anybody's story, because everybody's unique. Do you know what I mean? So what may affect one person may not affect the other person. So really, you're the only person who knows what you're feeling in your heart and in your mind. Do you know what I mean? So, bear with other people around you who may not necessarily be getting the hurt and pain, the trauma that you're going through. Everybody's unique, you know what I mean? So we all look at other people's issues from a different, perspective. We have found with crystals, it's just like people. When you meet somebody who's been through something that's sort of similar to what you've been through, you can sort of resonate a bit more. That person's talking from similar-ish type experiences. Now the crystals, as Lynn says, have been damaged. Now some of them have been damaged at the mining process, others have been damaged because they fell off over the thousands of years, others could be damaged because you've actually held one, you've dropped one, being tumbled, like tumbled stones. Well, they're actually continuing on growing. They're actually moving forward in their process. Now it might take thousands of years for them actually to become perfect again, and they're never really perfect, the same way we're never perfect.
True. Mm-hmm.
So why we love these crystals, we call them wounded healers, it's because that's what they are, and that's what you are, and that's what we are, that's what everybody is. Anybody who's gone through some sort of turmoil has come through it, and is going through it, and has come out the other side eventually. We just may not see it at this moment in time in our lives, and it's the same as a crystal. Now, This crystal here is my favourite crystal. It's a citrine. I talked about it in one of the previous videos. But it has been, over the years, I don't know how it's been manhandled, how it's damaged, how it's fell off, the cavity inside the cave, X, Y, Z. But you can see the different stages of damage on this crystal. At the base here, it's completely self-healed. In other words, you can see where it has originally been broken off, but it's now forming. It's a smoothness over the top. Any familiar with crystals, we call them self-healed. You're cutting around the outside of it, you can actually see more gases in it. But inside the wee gases, if you look underneath the magnifying glass, you'd actually see there's wee tiny pinhead crystals growing. Different stages, you've got slightly larger crystals growing, so that's a different stage of another previous wound. And for me, this has been fantastic to work with, because I'm realising that life's going on in this crystal. It's moving through all different stages of the damage that it received, and it's growing further. See, when I look back at my life, at the time it might have been the darkest days of my life, but now I look back and I go, what's I worried about? Because I'm here now. So crystals we recommend as wounded healers. It's the damaged ones. It's the ones you see in the bargain baskets.
The bargain basket in the crystal shop or the
nobody wants
shop.
them because they're too ugly or too damaged. Oh, they're not perfect. They haven't got perfect points. Let's sand them down. Let's smooth off the edges. We're saying tell you to get those crystals that are damaged. They're wounded healers.
We're actually telling you to buy damaged crystals.
Damaged crystals. And just feel the energy from them. A lot of the books and people and their hearts are in the right place. It has to be perfect, has to be perfect, has to be. It doesn't. Crystals don't have to be perfect. They're perfect the way they are. Same way you're perfect the way you are, even with your issues going on. And this is why we're saying, tell you, when you get a crystal and you start holding it and it's been damaged, believe your lifetime in this physical reality is going to be nothing compared to the age of them crystals. One of the smallest pin-sized head crystals on the side of the citrine, the original citrine, is absolutely thousands of years old. Compared to my physical life here, it's nothing. So when you're working with these crystals, I guarantee you're going to get added boost to your system to keep them going.
Absolutely, it really does. It's amazing because like this one here, this is a tangerine quartz. And it has a coating over the top. It's natural quartz with a coating over the top like an iron oxide, and it's been chipped at the top. And I love this one because I hold it and I find I'm really giving it healing, and it's giving me healing. Like we say, a lot of crystals, they're naturally wounded in nature over the thousands of years, sometimes millions of years they've took to form. In that they've probably come off from the cavity, fell down rocks, chipped off, and over the many years, I'll just show you this crystal here that I've got here. This lovely big beauty here, this big quartz. Over the years, it's chipped, the top's chipped off the side there, and it's self-healed itself. I turn it round the other way, and it's completely, originally would have been all the way cased perfect. Obviously fell and broke many thousands, possibly millions of years ago, and it's self-healed itself all at the bottom, forming lots and lots of tiny little crystals all at the bottom. It's absolutely amazing. So this has self-healed itself, and this is one that's been wounded naturally. And self-healing crystals are fantastic for doing just that, self-healing, and they're good for self-healing yourself. So if you really, you've been wounded, as everybody has, there's no one out there who's never been through anything in life unless they're very young or very lucky. And then buying a crystal that has self-healed itself, like Sean was showing his citrine, which is self-healed at the bottom, and this one which is self-healed as well, is wonderful to self-healing. Carry the crystal on you, take it to bed with you, nurse it, leave it in your room, sleep with it at the side, and it's wonderful to work with for self-healing, isn't it? It really is.
Fantastic. And when you're looking at a chip or damaged crystal, a wounded healer, a lot of people just see the chip, they just see the damage done onto it. What we're saying to you is, it's the same as life. Sadly, some people can only see, the damage done to people, and even ourselves. By the way, there was a few years there that I could only see the doom and gloom of the damage within my own life, and I turned around and couldn't see it. But when you sort of take the blinkers off and you look at things differently, that's where you see the magic happening. And when you look at a crystal that's chipped, I don't see it chipped. I just see it on some special journey, and it's here now, and it's got so much energy, it's got so much love, it's got so much healing to give out, and I could give it back. And what I'm going to turn out to say is this: I don't know how long I'm going to live, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I have no idea. But I tell you this here, whilst I'm a caretaker of this wounded healer, I'll be protecting it, I'll be learning from it, I'll be putting my love into it, because I see it for its true self, its energy, and I know that I'm receiving the love back from it. So get yourselves a wounded healer, guys, if you have any issues going on. It's not going to cure everything. It may not even cure nothing, but it'll make you look at things differently, and you'll certainly get some sort of positivity from it, and you'll realise as part of this, by working with your wounded healers, maybe you'll incorporate other issues, change other lifestyle issues, change other things in your life that's causing it. Try to get down to the root of the issue that's causing the trouble, or has caused. If it's something from the past and you can't sever it, then you start moving into the future and just say, do you know what? This is me. I'm a wounded healer. And go through your life knowing that you're healing. You may not be able to see it at this moment in time because of circumstances around you. Trust me, you're healing, whether you know it or not. I went through times, you went through times, you went through times, and you look back on them now, and I guarantee you, things that you thought a year from now, 2 years from now, 2 years in the past, they're relevant now. They're gone. They're completely gone. You look at yourself, my goodness, you'll never get that emotion back that you went through then.
And at the time, you think you're never going to get over it. Whatever you've gone through this emotionally, you think, I'm never going to get over this loss of somebody you've loved, the loved one dying, or anything like that. It's awful, awful painful. But you do get over it. You do. But with the help of crystals as well, it's almost like treating your crystal like a teddy bear, if you want. Carry it with you and nurture it, and it will nurture you back.
Or an action man.
Or an action man, yeah. Or Cindy doll. But it will give you so much love back as well. And it's funny because, like, when we first started out on our journey with crystals, I actually went out of my way to actually find the damaged ones rather than them all perfectly polished and all shining with perfect points. I actually found them very comforting, because I found whenever I was going through my emotional issues, I had to do a lot of work on myself. The chipped ones were fantastic because I felt like I was healing them, and they were healing me back.
It's amazing. Back,
Also, I've often wondered as well, like crystals not only naturally get damaged when they're forming over the thousands of years, millions of years, but I often wonder, like, when they're mined. Now, you get some really good crystal miners that are very, very gentle with their crystals. They pick them out, make sure the points are all perfect, and give them lots of love and everything, treat them well. But when you think about a crystal, what it has to go through, you think, well, it's been growing in one place for thousands, millions of years, and it's perfectly formed. And then it takes somebody like a miner to come along, a big digger, get it out of the ground, and sometimes they yank it out of the ground. Remember, crystals hold memory like we do, and it's got the memory. When you buy a new crystal, it might look absolutely perfect, like, look at that, it's perfect. And you think, that's it. But it's important also to cleanse it, because, like I was saying, it's been mined. Now, that crystal has been happy in Mother Earth for millions of years. Then suddenly it's mined, sometimes dragged out. Then sometimes put an acid bath to clean it all, the soil off it. And then often shipped off then to a warehouse, and then shipped off to another shop. And then all the shopkeepers handle it, and then it gets sent then to the shop. And then lots of people handling it, and then eventually it gets to you. So it doesn't matter how perfectly polished it looks and shiny. Always cleanse your crystal when you have it, because then other people who've been handling all the vibrations and everything, you don't know what the crystal has been through. But also, as I often think with crystals when they're mined, not only that, but a lot of the time they're polished, highly polished, which is changing the whole shape. So this crystal is naturally pointed like that, and then suddenly goes on a machine, bzzz, like that, and holding the memory of that, and then also being chipped up and possibly made into tumblestones. And I often think, the poor crystal. I always try and get crystals as natural as possible, and if they have natural chips on and everything, that's fine, because to me the crystal's natural. Tumblestones are essential, because carrying them around in the pocket, and also when we do crystal healing as well, putting them onto the client. Sometimes when you put crystals like that and they're all pointed, they can fall off, and when they're tumblestones, they're easy to put onto the body and carry around with you. But I often do think, we often say to each other, I wonder what that crystal's been through. I wonder if it was like holding the memory of going through that machine and being dug up and that. But then I'm just an old softie anyway. But
that's softie. As Lynn says here, and if you're not familiar with about cleansing crystals, if you're new to our channel, flick back through the crystal section there, and you'll see videos on how to cleanse your crystals, and it's what we do recommend you to do when you get a new crystal. And the more you're working, the more you're connecting with your crystal, the more you spend time with a crystal. Say you buy 5 or 6 crystals at the same time, You know, try to devote some time, you know, to one, you know, and try to get to know, try to connect with it. And if it has a damage and a ding in it, or you know, you know, love it even more, because it's going to get you back. And it's like everything else, it's hard to explain. Some people would turn out and go crackpots. But you know what? I'm glad I'm a crackpot.
I'm glad I'm a crackpot. That's great. Yeah, I am. I don't care.
Because my life has never been better.
You have to be mad in this world, don't you?
Jenny, what I'd say to you is crystals is one of the things that's in my life that has certainly changed my outlook in life. And I can tell you this here, guys, wounded healers like, you know, shamans throughout the world, all indigenous peoples, you know, the shaman, the medicine man, medicine woman, you know, is actually 9 times out of 10 somebody who's gone through some sort of trauma. And you can research this if you want. The wounded healers, they've gone through something at childbirth, they've gone through something major. If you look at many people who are, you know, light carriers now, you know, light workers who are giving out love and light, the people that provide healings, the crystal therapy, Reiki, all the different healing melodies, you've actually found that most of them people have gone through trauma. They've all got a story, even the writers, Eckhart Tolle, Neil Donald Walsh, you know, if you look at them all, Louise Hay, look at their stories. They didn't just get cast to the side because they're going through issues. They didn't get thrown into some basket somewhere because they've been damaged, or they don't fit into a particular shape or style, or they're not all shining, they're not all glimmering, they're not all perfect. Nobody's perfect. No crystal's perfect. And what we're saying to you is look out for wounded healers, and look in the mirror, by the way, because you're looking at one every morning. If you're going through an issue, you're helping so many people, you're helping yourself. You may not see it, but trust me in this one. Try to look on things differently, and you will see that with working with crystals that have been damaged, you'll realise that everyone's damaged in a certain degree.
And you learn from your experiences, the pain you're going through, however bad at the time, you learn from that, because everything we've ever been through, however horrible at the time, we've learned so much from it. It's been a blessing in disguise.
Fantastic. Guys, listen, I hope you've got some sort of information from this. Give the wee crystals that have been damaged, and you say, you can pick them up. We love going to the wee shops because they genuinely, they're the crystals that nobody seems to want. The vast majority.
We like the odd crystals, don't we?
The vast majority of our crystals we've got, you know, we're not using the term wounded healers to put into what we're trying to convey here, what we're seeing them as, but the vast majority of our crystals, 90%, 95% of them, are imperfect. Do you know what I mean? And the ones that are perfect, sadly, are the ones we've made in the lab, so perfect, you know what I mean? You can spot them a mile away. But basically, guys, enjoy your crystals, give them a crack. If you've enjoyed the video and you might think people could help, please share it, and if you haven't already subscribed, we'd love to have you here. We love all your comments, and we're growing and learning by you. So people keep commenting on how lovely the subscribers are on the channel.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Unbelievable. People are actually commenting, tell us how wonderful you all are, because you are fantastic. And I say we feel blessed to share this section of our journey with us. We're all one family here. Some of us are wounded healers, and others are there supporting us, and this is the best place to be.
Now, just to know before we close the video, is we get asked a lot, do crystals have to be perfect to work with? Well, as we said, definitely not. Now, this is proof of like evidence here. This crystal here is absolutely amazing. Now, it's been damaged, and most likely it was damaged when it was mined, because the chip looks quite recent. It hasn't self-healed itself yet. It's quite still looks very recent when we had it. Big chip out of it. But this is our most powerful crystal for manifesting things. Now, you probably think you have to have a perfect crystal for like manifesting your dreams and sending it out there to the law of attraction. But whenever we send this out to the law of attraction, and what we ask for, we receive, and that. This crystal is fantastic, that it's so powerful, and this has a massive chip on the end of it. So proof that crystals don't have to be perfect to work. This one works an absolute treat, doesn't it? Yeah. And it heals us every day. It's just beautiful. It's a blessing.
And although Lynn doesn't see it, I see Lynn as perfect.
That's perfect.
So sometimes the rule can be changed, yeah. Guys, listen, thanks very much for watching. Not too sure how long this is.
I know, we haven't been waffling on again. We always try and keep it short, don't we? But you know us.
And the way our videos usually work, we just turn in and say probably about half an hour before, what will we talk about? And you know, that's why most of our videos will come about. Some of the ones will be sitting saying, we're going to do a video next week, we're going to do it with such and such a thing. It may not come off. This video here came up literally 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes prior to the shooting it. And as I say, so 99.9% of it's all off the cuff and
and us
waffling on.
Wobble, wobble. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we want to send you all our love and happiness and positive energy from Ireland as always.
Definitely, guys. Listen, we love having you here. Have a fantastic day, and say, just always remember, you're a wounded healer, and move forward through life with a smile on your face, guys. And if you can't smile, just wait on it happening.
That's so true.
It's going to be happening, okay?
And if you haven't subscribed, please do.
Definitely. Guys, love yous.
Bye.
Take it easy.